What up, everyone? Good to see you again. I say again because I actually already recorded this video and I finished editing it and it was all nice and perfect, really put some good effort into it. Then my computer at the last second decided to take a shit on me and deleted the whole thing. Knock it out. So I lost the entire file and was devastated. It is so soul-crushing to have to go through the entire process over again. So if I seem a little frustrated and aggravated in this video, it's because I am. It's very frustrating. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have to say goodbye to this computer and figure out another way to edit my videos. I don't really know what else to do. So here we are again recording this for the second time. And Pup's going to be really annoying right now because he's hungry and he's looking for food. So he's there. And Woof too. So sleepy. Oh my goodness, so sleepy. So yeah, we're back with the monthly review. We've got 3 boxes here. So without any further ado, let's get right into them because I don't want to record this a third time because 2 times is too many already. Alright, first we have Loot Crate. Now, it's like, holy shit, like, where's this box been? We have not seen this box since October, or we actually didn't even see it, we didn't even get October's box. So they've been months and months behind, and you'd think this showing up would solve the problem and answer all the questions, but it actually raises more questions than it answers. Because this isn't October's box. You'd think that when they finally got to it, I assume we would just get them all at once. Because it didn't make any sense why all of their boxes were backed up. Other companies occasionally have late shipping because one item gets held up because of where it comes from is held up because of COVID. Not all of their boxes. So the only thing that made sense that Loot Crate, all of their boxes were held up was because one of their distribution centers was most likely shut down. So they had all the items, they were just locked in one spot. That's the only logical conclusion I could come up with. So I figured when they did finally open up, we'd get all the boxes at once. That's not what happened. The next thing would have been, well, okay, they're starting from where they left off. This should be October's. Also didn't happen. Then I thought, well, maybe those are locked up. They're just going to continue with the newer ones, and this should be like May or June's. Nope, this is November. So I don't know. I have no answers. I have no clue why they would have sent November's, not October's, not the more recent one. Why this one specifically? If anyone works for Loot Crate or knows anyone that does, please weigh in the comments. I'm so curious at this point what's going on over there and why we got November's box versus any other box. So it's so odd and weird, but fuck it, I don't care. It's here. So I'm going to review it with the other boxes, which I think are May's boxes, I think. So yeah, they're arriving at the same time. They're getting reviewed at the same time. Whatever. So this box, long time no see. First off, we got a shirt, Masters of the Universe. Nothing super special about it. It'll get the standard $12 to $15 value. As far as a score on this, I'm only going to give it like a 4 out of 10. The quality on the Loot Crate shirts is not super great. It's not terrible, but it's not the best either. And the design is just very straightforward. There's no design quality to it. They didn't put their own spin on it. They literally just like cut and pasted a picture, so not super great. Also the color, I've always hated on Loot Crate because of this. These colors are so bright and outrageous, it's just crazy. Like, if you want to do blue, that's fine. Do a subtle blue. Do like a nice soft blue, a baby blue, a gray blue, something like that. I wear those colors all the time. Gray blue is my favorite color. But this super gnarly, it's like, what do you even wear with this other than more of this color? Like, that's just, it's too bright, it's too outrageous. Do more subtle tones. They always do that with a bright blue and a bright red, and it's like, I'm not a fucking traffic cone. People don't need to spot me from 200 yards away. Just give me something subtle where I can just blend into the crowd and look like a normal person. That's what I hope for from Loot Crate. So there you go. There's that. Next, we got a figure from Beast Wars and Transformers. So I can only assume this is some sort of crossover. I never watched Beast Wars personally. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't even a fan of Transformers, honestly. So, I'm not entirely sure, but as far as I knew, Beast Wars and Transformers were separate, but I could be wrong. Anyway, here's the figure. We'll get a closer look. So there's that. And they gave a stationary figure, which normally I'm all for. I love stationary figures. I don't like things with a lot of joints. I like statues. I like them in their pose. I like them to look good versus being functional. So that's always my preference. But oddly enough, This one is kind of weird because it's a stationary figure, but it's of a Transformer, which wasn't the whole point of those to move around and transform. I'm still not saying I favor ones that are posable, but it's odd that they picked something that was literally meant to move around and transform and made it into something that literally can't transform. Except it does move a little bit, so you can transform into one with his arm up. That's transformation. So that's about the most movement you can get out of it. So it's just a very odd choice that they would pick something like this to do a stationary figure of. Not a big deal, just more questions I have from this company I'm never going to get answered. So there's that figure. And as far as the value on that, that goes for about $20 to $30, or at least that's the only listings I could find were around that price, but I don't personally wouldn't value it at that because it's not selling for that, so it's hard to say it has that value if no one's willing to pay that much for it. So it's kind of a, if I had to give my honest opinion, I'd value that more around the $15 range, so keep that in mind when we get to the score. Next, we got a pin, a Phoenix pin from, I don't know, it's so nondescript and non-specific, I'm not sure what it's from, because there's been a Phoenix in just about every sci-fi movie there's ever been. There's just all kinds of Phoenixes all over the place. I'm not sure what it's referencing. Could be X-Men, could be something else, I'm not sure. But there's a Phoenix pin. It looks good though, it looks nice, so I guess that's something. Value on that, $5 to $6. That's pretty standard for Loot Crate pins. Theirs don't go for a high amount. And lastly, we got a card pack. They mentioned a long time ago they were going to start doing this, and they finally got around to it. This is from What If, and it's in the wax paper packaging, which I like. I think that's very nostalgic. I knew they were just doing it to be cheap, but I like the wax paper feel of cards, so I appreciate that. So there's, I think, 9 cards in there, and if you want to flip them over, you can put them all together, and it makes a little mini poster. So everyone got the exact same one, so there's not a lot of collectability to it. If they had done a card series and given you one pack, that would have probably increased the value of some of these things, but since everyone got the same thing, nothing super special. Value on that's like $5 or $6. That brings our total value on the low end of $42 and on the high end of $57. So not quite double the value, pretty close to it, but not quite there. So overall score on this box, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It was decent, and you got decent value, not great value, but like I was saying with the figure, I wouldn't value it at the price I gave. I would value it a little bit lower, and nothing spectacular about it. I still appreciate that they're doing their own figures, so it makes it exclusive, but when the quality's not super great, then it's kind of redundant. So it doesn't make much sense to make your own figure of something and then do it in poor quality. It is NECA that owns this company, so I would expect more from them, but at the same time, it's a very cheap box, so it's kind of hard to make anything super quality from that. I think they just need to make some better choices, honestly. I think a Transformer is a poor choice for a stationary figure. They should pick some better franchises, in my personal opinion. So, 6 out of 10 on that. Next, we got the BAM box. Alright, let's take a look. First off, we got a signature from Ross Marquand. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Not totally sure. He was the voice of Red Skull. So in Infinity War, the Infinity Saga, and he was also the voice of Ultron in the What If series. So he's done a lot of stuff. He's very recognizable as far as his characters. His name may not necessarily be recognizable, but the characters he's voiced are very recognizable. So the value on that's probably like $30 to $35, which is pretty standard for autographs from this box. Next, we got a little art print from Mark Melton. Nothing super special about this. The artwork is, again, okay. It's not bad or anything like that, but it's not particularly special either. It just kind of seems like not a professional artist. It just seems like someone that just kind of likes art in their spare time. We've also, this is the second print we've gotten from this artist. Did one before that came in this box. I think it was of Snake Eyes. Not very popular. It doesn't go for a lot. The value on this was like $7 to $10, but honestly, I think I'm being generous with that. That's what it was being listed for, so if you wanted to buy it, you would have to pay $7 to $10, but I don't think anyone's going out of their way to buy this artist, so, you know, it's kind of not quite that value, but, you know, I got to give it something. Next, we got our pins. A set of pins from Doctor Strange. We got Doctor Strange himself and the Eye of Agamotto. So the value on these is $15, which is so weird. For some reason, for the longest time, the individual pins were valued at $12 to $15 from this box. Then they switched to a 2-pin system, and the value for the pair goes for $15. It's so weird that they would add a pin, but the value doesn't really change at all. It's pretty much the same as if we got 1 pin. Doesn't make any sense to me at all, but I'm not complaining. I get 2 pins, and they're very nice pins. I really do like them, so I'm not mad about that at all, but I'm just surprised that the value is only $15. Last, we got a badge from Judge Dredd, and this is actually really nice. This is real metal. It's got some weight to it. It's very nicely done. Value on that's like $15 to $20, which I think is fair. So it seems like they've been stepping up their game as far as the prop replicas. They've been making some better choices and been putting in some quality items, which I appreciate. The only thing I thought was weird, they didn't put anything on the back. Usually with a badge, they either put it in some kind of sleeve that has a little fold-over pocket thing, or they put like a safety pin situation on the back so you can pin to something. So this really didn't have anything on it, which is weird. And normally I would make a magnet out of something like this, but I think it's too heavy to do that. I'm not sure the magnetic pole would support the weight of this badge, so I'll have to figure out how to display this, but either way, it's still nice and quality. That brings our value on the low end of 67 and on the high end of 80. So again, not quite double the value, more than you paid for, decent, probably like 50% more than you paid for, which is good. That's a good value. And, you know, everything in here I was good quality. I appreciate it. I don't really care about the art print. I never have and probably never will. I think they need to up their standard for art prints. It's mostly fan art, which is fine, and I think the problem is they're not paying for the artwork. If they paid artists, then they would be getting better quality, but I think they're just taking in fan art for free, and that's kind of what it looks like. I think they need to set the bar a little higher of what they accept as far as artwork, and I think that would help out a little bit, because the prints lately have just been pretty much garbage, and I don't mean any disrespect to the artists. The artists are great, but it's just they're not high in quality, so that's the only thing I never really like about this box. Everything else was good quality, good value, good resale value. So that being said, I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. So that was the BAM box. And they also recently announced they're doing a new system. They're doing upgrades for all the items in the box. It doesn't really make a difference to anyone that's just subscribing to it, but now you have a more likely chance of getting an upgraded item, and all the items have an upgraded chance, which has potential to be really good, but again, depends on how they execute. It could be good, it could be bad. It all depends on what they're putting into it. So that's just something they announced, and we'll see that in not next month, but probably the month after that. So I'm excited to see what that is, because I do appreciate upgraded items, and you don't have to pay anymore, so it's just kind of a bonus that's added on. But that being said, their last announcement was the cartoon box, which I loved, and they canceled after like 1 month. So they just announced that, canceled it, now they're announcing this, so we'll see how it goes. Not exactly holding my breath though. Last, we have Geek Fuel, the Geek Fuel bag. And this one's pretty simple. You get a shirt and one other item. So let's take a look at those things. Alright, first the shirt. The shirt I really like. So here's the front of it. Shell's Kitchen. And then there's the back. Obviously a Ninja Turtle themed shirt. I really like this. I like the fact that it's not very straightforward. That's nice sometimes. It's so boring. Like, men's shirts are always so boring. It's usually just like the logo in the center of the shirt. It's like, can you guys like come up with something more interesting? I love the Ninja Turtles, but I don't need just another shirt with 4 turtles on it. I want something more interesting. And this is exactly the things I look for, where it is Ninja Turtles themed, but they don't actually appear on there. It's an artistic view of just like their weapons and some ooze and stuff like that. So it's very well put together and has a lot of art quality to it. Someone actually had to go out of their way to design something like that, which I appreciate. That makes it original, that makes it special. So that's really great. And that being said, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Not just because of the design, but because Geek Fuel gives very nice quality shirts. Of all the subscription boxes, theirs are the nicest, personally. There we go. And then I'll get the standard $12 to $15 value. Next, we got a pin. So mine is of Buffy, and I'll be showing a closer picture of it. But apparently you could have gotten one of many different Mondo pins. So as far as the value on it, it was very hard to value it because first of all, I couldn't find any info on this pin that I got. There was only one other person that wanted to sell it for like $80, which I think is crazy. So I'm kind of going off what some of the other pins were valued at, the lower end of them. So I'm giving it a $15 value. But keep in mind, some of the other pins that were going online were going for $100 or sometimes $200 and selling for that in auction. So, which is mind-blowing. This company, Mondo, I'm assuming has a partnership with Geek Fuel because we've seen a lot of their items before. We've gotten the Mondoids, I think they're called, and those are really fantastic. Very, very high quality stuff. And their pins, same thing. So obviously this company, Mondo, really cares about quality, which I think is great because so few companies do. So to see something like a pin, a single pin go for like $200 is crazy. But considering how high the quality is, like, you know, that's what made it so hard to value this. It could be worth a good amount, but I'm not totally sure. So to be safe, I'm giving around $15. But again, considering everyone got different stuff, I kind of have to go with the lowest common denominator. So that being said, that brings our value on the low end of 27, on the high end of 30. You also get the $5 coupon on this. I'm not adding that to the value because that's only theoretical value. It's not like it's a gift card. It can't be combined. You can't really do anything with it. It's just basically a $5 off coupon if you shop on their website, which doesn't even cover shipping. So I don't consider that part of the value. So with those two items, you're barely getting what you paid for. You're getting a few dollars more than what you paid for. And that's just not great. And I kind of figured this would happen with this box/bag. So for that reason, I'm only giving it a 4.5 out of 10. And the only reason it's getting that high is because the items in here were fantastic quality. If they weren't good quality, it probably would have gotten like a 2. But the pin was really great quality, and the shirt was really great quality. So not a lot of items in here, not a lot of value, but good quality on the things you did get. So that upped the score a little, but still only a 4.5. So this company used to be fantastic. They were my favorite box, and I'm going to stick with them to the end. I think they're going to probably be closing their doors in the not too distant future. The signs have been pointing towards that for years. They were a fantastic box, and it's been a slow decline for years now. And now we are at the bag with one item. So I think it's only a matter of time before they shut down, and I'm going to hang with them to the end. They've been a great company. The least I could do is still show my support and give them my money each month. It's not that much, so I don't mind sticking with them until, you know, whatever happens. So those were all the boxes of this month. And again, I can't tell you how frustrated I am that my video got deleted. It was really a good one too. I could feel it. Like, you know, when you finish something, you're like, man, that was a good one. I like that. And I was so pissed that I had to redo it because I could feel this half-assed video that I'm putting together now because I'm so frustrated. But my new Sentinel satchel came, so the last one, so I'm pretty excited about that. And that's the only thing that brought me into a good mood enough to make this video. So that should be appearing right here any day now. Other than that, now that it's summer, I'm going to have a lot more time to make videos. In theory, I don't know though because my computer is broken, so I don't know if I'll be able to edit any of them. But in theory, I'll be able to do more, so hopefully I'll get back to my weekly system of posting videos. Other than that, let me know what you thought about the boxes and things you'd like to see in the future. Thank you all for watching and supporting. See you on the next video. Love you all. Peace.